stampers, Gaynor again, and I've made this, because I've been working with scraps a lot, I've made this gorgeous little lattice card. I think it's just adorable, and you can see the designer series paper through it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strips, which we can get, look at that, got a bit of ink on there. We can get from our card base. So I'm using, this is old Whisper White. This is, you can use 11.5, and I can't remember what I cut that. Bear with me. So we're going to cut this at 8 1/4, and we're going to score at 5 7/8. So let's just do that actually. Let's cut this. Let's 5 7/8. Let's score this. So this is half of it we're going to score. So this is our standard size. If you're American, do it at 5 1/2. I'm going to do mine at 5 7/8. And I'm going to score. And it's a little bit short, see? I don't know why, for some reason, even though that's half of our cardstock. Should be 5 7/8. So I'm just going to grab my bone folder. And I'm just going to make sure that that is perfectly cut together. So we will be getting our trimmer out in a minute. Let's pop the trimmer out. And I need to cut this. Let me just check. 8 1/4. That gives me about 2 1/2. Let me just check my cardstock. I haven't written it down, see, I was just doing it off the top of my head. So 2 3/8. So 2. Our score line, I don't know why it's doing that, 2 3/8, which gives me 8 1/4. So cut your cardstock down to 8 1/4. So there is our card. Now with this piece that's left over, we're just going to literally cut 1/2 inch strip. So 1, 2. Oh, that wasn't 1/2 inch, was it? Where's that gone? There. Not even cut it properly. So let's do that again. 1/2 inch, not 1/4 inch, Gaynor. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. We've got 5 up to now, and another 1/2 inch. So we've got 6 pieces. You probably would have got 7 if I hadn't cut that other one small. So there's 6. So I've got myself another piece of Whisper White, and this, oh mind you, I never said the width, 4 1/8. Yeah, so this got to be 4 1/8. So 1, 2, 3, 6. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need another 2. So another 1 and 1 more 1/2 inch, 2. So we've got our strips now. Don't throw these away. You can use these for labels, all sorts. So this is so cute. I'm just trying to think now. I added them on the front to hide my designer series paper. So we want to make this card, it's got to balance up to there, so which is 5. You can do this to 5 1/2. So what I did is laid my piece down there, and I'm going to stick this on the front. That way when I put my designer series paper on, it's going to hide it. So let's just burnish these lines nice and good, keep them nice and flat, and I'm just going to grab my glue and I'm just going to dab just a little bit on the end, and then I'm going to line this up with the edge on the edge so it's exactly the same size, and I'm going to keep it all the way along so it's the same length. And if you're quick, you can just maneuver that out. And then what I did then, I'm going to do the same when my glue wants to come out. Just add in a spot, and then again I'm just going to line this up at the very bottom, and I'm going to lay that down so it's right along the edge. So when our designer series paper is going to cover that, so you won't see that lattice work. So we need another 1, 2, 3. So I'm just basically going to add another one in the center, just add in a small, you can use tear and tape, you can use snail, what is it called, snail? I can't remember, I haven't used your, what's it, fuse, I don't know. So again, this one's going right in the center, roughly. So I'm just gonna eyeball it, so we've got half, just over half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go in the center of that one, making sure that's nice and straight at the bottom. Whoops, let's get that again. Level at the bottom, level at the top. And then another one, and we're just going to go in between. You can use a ruler if you want to measure this out, but so that's in the middle, so let's pull that out. So 1, 2 and a bit. So if I go in the center there, lay that flat, and just once they're down, just give them a quick burnish, and then one more, and again we're gonna, don't add the glue, add the glue at this end, and just gonna flop that down. You can, like I say, you can use a ruler, so it looks like a garden fork now, flippy floppy. So now we are going to add our, and we're going to go up and under, and over the top. But I'm going to lay these on my card opposite ways. So there's only going to be 3. So I went under, over, under, over. Now I'm going under, over, under, over, the opposite, just like weaving a basket. We're going to do that, and this is why we're not going to glue it into place just yet, because we're going to get everything lined up first. And again, this one is going to go the same. And it's just, that's how quick it is. So once you've got it lined up right on the edge, you can lift this one up, add a tiny spot of glue, making sure it's perfectly lined up on the end. Lift this, do the end ones first, making sure that it's perfectly lined up on the end and all the way to that edge. And then we can just lift this. and lay that down. If you get a little bit too boyish, just use so these two are the easiest ones to fit in. Now we just want to make sure we want to line this up. So we want to make sure we got even gaps. Just tidy that up. That looks about all right to me. So again, pick this up. And don't worry about that one. We're going to turn our card over in a sec. Making sure that's perfectly lined up. And then lift this one up. Perfect. And then flip your card over. Add these now. Just to really secure those down. And then again with this one, we're just going to do the ends. Once we've got it lined up, Gaynor, pick it up quick before it gets stuck right on the edge. And then lift this end. And make sure you've got it level on that end. If you want to pick that up, you can slide a bit of glue in there if you want. I just thought it was secure enough. And again, just gently use your bone folder. And again, turn it over and do that. So there is our lattice. It's a little bit gappy for some reason. Have I not got enough right there? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've missed one. Oh, I've missed one. Don't worry about it. Nobody's going to notice. It is a little bit gappy, but we are going to add our designer series paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I needed 9, not 8. So don't do what I did. You use 9. I only just used 8. But if that is too wide of a gap, you can literally cut a very thin one. But I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it as is. So you need 9, not 8. So let me give. Have I got that written down in my book? I can't remember. Double spanner, double door pop up, accordion. No. So let me write that down for you. Lattice Pansy patch card. That's if you're using Pansy patch. So whisper white. If you're American, it's 8.5, 8.25. Yeah, 8.5 by 11. So you cut yours in half, so you get 2. And the UK, so 8.5 by 11, and cut short side at 4.25, and you'll have 2 cards. But you'll need extra then for your strips. That's the US, and the UK is 8.25 by 11.75, and you're gonna cut at 4 1/8, and you'll have 2 cards on the short side. And then you need to score long side at 5.5 and cut at, let me just see what yours would be. If I took that to 5.5, you need to cut at 2.25. So 5.5, 6, 7, 8.75, and then score at 5.5. Ours we cut at, you get the whole length of this, so that would be 8.25. So 8.25 by 4 1/8. Score long side at 5 7/8. And then you would need 9 at 1/2 inch by, if your card's 8.25, you do yours by 4.25. USA. And if you're English, you'll be 9 at 1/2 inch by 4 1/8 UK size. So there we go. I'm sorry about the lights. I don't know what is wrong with my lights. They just don't like me for some reason. So if you can zoom in, that's what you need for US and the UK. Woohoo, we'll get there in the end. Right, now my designer series paper is from this beautiful Pansy patch. I've got a little piece for my thank you that I use there. I am going to be fussy cutting. I did have bits that I'd already start to cut out. And I even cut some of these little edgy pieces because you're going to tuck them behind. And you're going to have one on the side. So let me just see if I've got any more that I cut out. I've got leaves that I cut out just to save. This designer series, I don't know whether to use the green again or use the pink. So it's up to you what size or what colour designer series paper you want to cut inside. But you've cut it, you want to cut it so your first lot of lines cover that paper. So I can even leave this just like that one. So this will cover my top lattice lines. I could use the green again like this one, but I'm going to flip this one, I think, and have that there, and then have my beautiful flowers attached, which will be on here and on here. This is why I cut the edge ones, because if you cut a whole flower and then stuck it on the end there with leaves, you would literally cut that flower off anyway. So why would you do that? Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to fussy cut maybe another one or two. So that is, these are just so adorable. So I want some purple, and I want some of this, and I want another couple of leaves. So I'm going to cut that one out. Maybe not so much. I might cut that one out because that can go on that side. But don't waste any of these papers. I truly want to cut one of these. So I'm going to use that one up there because I've got the pink anyway. I just love that purple. I may even add an extra one, but just going to add glue so it doesn't come through your paper. So I do like that pink one, and which is this one on the side. So let me just cut that one out. There is dies for this set if you want to. I've got another piece there for my leaves. These are just the ones that I would have used. I haven't decided to glue anything down yet, so I've got those. So I'm just going to fussy cut. And if you're not sure how to fussy cut, just draw a pencil line around first, and then once you're happy, cut it out, and then you can scribble out your pencil line. But if you've cut it and it's too short, see that this will go here, beautiful. And I'm going to tuck a couple of leaves under there. Isn't that beautiful? I think, you know, I'm going to use the green because those flowers are a bit too busy. So let me glue that down whilst I've got my glue out. But I cut this, oh goodness Gaynor, flipping heck. I cut this just to cover those bars on my, and I like a small border. You know me girls, I like a small border. So I'm literally gonna add that on there. Get rid of any excess. I think that is super cute. So where I'm going to add this, or let's glue that one down. I'm going to keep the purple on the inside. You can use any designer series paper, any flower set. I mean, you don't even have to add this on here if you don't want to. I just thought it was nice when you opened. You could literally open that card up and attach on there, literally. So you could keep all this space blank. So when you open the card, then the designer series paper stays up there, but you'd have to add your glue to the lines. But I thought this way looked more attractive when the card stood open. Like this. You can see then the lattice. If you covered it with designer series paper, you would literally wouldn't be able to see the lattice effect on the inside. So we've got it like this. So Gaynor needs to cut some more leaves, and I'm gonna cut, I'm gonna have, because we've got a flower inside as well there, so let's cut. Doesn't matter, like I'm saying, if it's on the edge, just don't waste any of your gorgeous designer series paper. Doesn't matter which way around these pansies go. Who said a flower's got to go one way? So when I put this inside, because it's got a line at the top and the bottom, I can attach that right up there in that corner, and then add a line of, well, some beautiful little leaves just to disguise the edges. Just like, and I've still got space to add my designer series. So I'm going to add the flower, and I'm going to position. I'm not going to glue. I'm not going to rest it down until I've decided where I want my leaves. So I'm going to pop this one right there. Whoops, don't want to be too quick. I'm adding some glue top and back. So when I slide this under there, it pokes out at the bottom. It doesn't stick out the back of my card. Then I can add a dot more glue there and just press that down. Same as this one. Add a dot of glue and just press it down. So there's the inside of our card. Now let's cut some of these beautiful flowers. I'm going to have this one again there. I'm just going to add a line of glue at the front first, at the back, so that's where the bit's going to rest against my lattice. So again, I'm just going to come up to there. So there's only that line glued there. This is all open at the minute. So grab myself a little leaf, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of glue along the bottom there. And that one is going to rest just under there for the minute. And then I can pick my lattice up and then just poke a little glue under the back there without it poking through and sticking my card down. So we've got flowers. Let's get some leaves. I need about 4 leaves. So again, don't worry if they're attached. Just have a play. If you want to get your dies out, do so. Even the ones hanging off the edge, use your dies. It won't cut through the edge of the paper because there'll be nothing there. But you will still have half a leaf to tuck behind one of these gorgeous flowers. Look at that one. Absolutely beautiful. That will tuck into there. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to just put a little bit on the bottom, and I'm going to put a little bit on the top. That way, when I glue that tiny little bit there, it's basically going to stick to the back of the flower and not show any glue through the back of my card. And then later, I'm going to cut one more leaf for there, a darker one. So let's cut this half one here. I mean, people normally throw these bits, but we've got these lovely little displays. So instead of adding glue on the back, because I don't know where my window is, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit on the front and tuck that just under my flower there. And then once we know it's all in place, I can add glue just to my lattice work there and stick that down. And it's not going to affect any of the glue. There's no glue on the inside. But if you would want to, like I was saying, you don't have to add this bit. You can do all your flower arranging first. Then you can pop this section in and it closes like that. But I prefer to open. I might add the two, but then you won't be able to see. And I want the pink to come through, the purple to come through this time. So let's get a few more leaves cut. Check my batteries okay. Oh, terrible batteries. I bought new batteries, and you know what? They don't last they last more than 5 minutes, but they normally last 40 minutes to an hour. But they're just like, for some reason, they just want to last half an hour. And it's not. I can join videos, but it's a pain in the bum. And I don't really have all them hours in the day trying to spend. I've got a program that'll cut the two together. Look, see, don't worry if you've gone a bit too wide, you can cut it off. But I haven't got all the day long to join videos. I'm one of these. I like to record, get it on the internet, and done. So let's get, how many more do we need? So let's just do one more. Let's do that other one there. Like I'm saying, don't throw these bits. They really do come in handy for other cards. I never. If I've got an image on the back, I will not throw it away. I would sooner fussy cut it out and use it on something. But even these little tips, don't throw them away either. And even if you make a little boo-boo like I've just done there, let's place these flowers on. So I'm going to just add it in fact, I'm just going to add it in the centre so I can add all my other flowers. So I'm going to pop this one about there. Then this one, again, I'm just going to add in the centre. So I can tuck this gorgeous little pansy in there. Doesn't matter if they're on this side. Again, just in the centre. So I can slide these in and then I can add my leaves. So this one, I'm just going to tuck that in between those two and leave it overhanging. And I can just lift up that and add a dot there. And then I can add a darker one. I'm just going to pop that there. I might even, no, I'm going to put it underneath. So this one, because there's no hindering, I can glue just there. And then I can pick up my flower, because I've only glued in the centre, and dot that down. And then this one, I'm going to put a little bit at the front. That way I'm going to glue this one just there. Isn't that pretty? Got another little pink flower. I could add that there. But I want to stamp, and I should have stamped first because I'm using black. There's the mark, and this is just the cutest little message. And it says, I'll tell you when I stamped it. Little things you do make such a difference. I mean, I could put that on there and leave, but you can write on the back because it's whisper white. You can. Look how cute that is. That is so sweet. I've got bits of cardstock stuck to my legs. You know me girls, I like to take my ink off as quick as possible. So here's that other little, I'm going to pop that to one side just for a moment. Here's our little thank you. And I should have done this first actually. Just going to add that right at the bottom. How cute is that? I love it. I'm going to give that a couple of seconds to dry. Make sure my battery's still on. So that is how cute that is. You could use a little punch if you want a different shape. But I just thought you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that's what we've got on there. So let's give, I'm going to turn this over. I've got a piece of scrap because it's, my ink is really good. And I'm just going to blot it. Don't rub it, just rub it with the bone folder on the back. And it takes off any excess without smearing that. And then we can cut this to size. And I think this measures about 1.25 inches. So I'm just gonna cut that down. Perfect. To about that size, and I've got enough label left there to do another one, so I always put those in my little scraps bin. How sweet is that? Did I have one on the inside at the bottom? No, but look, you could add another little flower down there in the bottom. That would get lost on that one. You could add that up there. I think I'm going to leave that one with these bits. I'm going to put these to one side, and then I can use these to make another card, because look at all those leaves, absolutely lovely. Put them with that. I've still got all those as well. Look, don't even waste these flowers. Perfect. Still got lots of Whisper White, so if you make any boo-boobs like I've done, you should have an extra one in there, so tuck that up a bit higher, that one, and then put another one in. So Gaynor made a mistake. And now I'm just going to pop this on dimensionals. I'm using these thin strips off the side because I'm not going to waste them either. And then I'm going to attach, oh mind you, I haven't, I'm going to add that there. I'm going to attach that there, because you don't want any of your dimensionals up the side. And then just going to take a little bit off and then attach this. Now I'm going to see those, so I'm going to take those off for a minute. I've made a boo-boo again, so Gaynor makes these mistakes so you don't have to. So a dimensional there. Just going to check the width. I'm going to have another dimensional right on the edge. And then I'm going to use a small one just to put on this edge so it doesn't go floppy in the center. And then we can add our thank you. Just right across there. That is perfect. There is no dimensionals poking through. We can then grab our little rhinestones. My new pokey tool of my beautiful friend. And I'm going to put one in the center of each of these gorgeous flowers. 3, 4, 5, just to decorate the label. 6, 7, 8, and one more. I'm going to just pop that there, 9. So there is my gorgeous, I did better on the first one, my beautiful Pansy patch lattice card, and they stand up beautiful. Got plenty of strength, but don't forget to add 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, whereas I only added 1, 2, 3. But close that gap a little bit. My boo-boo, but I make them so you don't have to. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed. Love the stripes, love the gingham. There's some new gingham paper coming out in the new Stampin' catalogue, I think, if I remember rightly. You would have seen me have mine by then, but I don't know if I ordered the papers. But there we go. There is this beautiful, and the sentiments are from the Pansy patch. I could have die cut the flowers out, like, and the leaves even, but I just wanted to do a bit of fussy cutting and show you how easy it was to make this beautiful card. Let me just put these backs back on, because I'm a noisy so-and-so. I like to clean my stamps as we go and then add them back on straight away. So just line up your stamps, put your backing back on, and you've used virtually, I don't think I've ever used those, they're still brand new. I've used their labels, but how cute. They're not quite short enough for that. But there we go. There is my lovely Pansy patch lattice card. So you need 9 pieces for the USA and the UK, but that's the width and that's the length of your card. So your card is 8 3/4 by 4 1/4, and score at 4 1/8. No, that's the UK. 5 1/2, sorry. So if you go length is 8 3/4, score at 5 1/2, and that will give you then that 2 1/2, 2 3/4. I don't know. Gaynor's gone silly sausage. Right, 8 3/4. Score at 5 1/2, and you will have 8 3/4. That seems pretty long. Wait there. 5 1/2. So 1, 2, 3 1/4. No, that's a bit wrong. So let me just guess what that would be. So ours, if that was 5 1/2, and you had that bit there, this bit then is 2 1/2. So 5 1/2, 6, 7. Yours needs to be 8 inches. USA. Let me do that again. 4 1/4 by 8. Score the long side at 5 1/2, giving you that 2 1/2 at the top. Oh, let me write that down. I don't want to confuse you. Right. Let's just put lattice card. Right. I'm going to do the UK sizes first. So 8 1/4 by 4 1/8. Score the long side at 5 7/8. And then USA sizes, you want 8 inches by 4 1/4 and score the long side at 5 1/2. Perfect. Then you will need 9 at 4 1/8 by 1/2 inch, and you will need 9 at 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch. Ooh, we get there in the end. So all that paperwork, all that confusing, and there are... Where's my light gone? There we go. Yay, they're the sizes. Right, till next time. I hope you enjoyed. Boo-boo. No boo-boo. Big lattice, small lattice. There's no boo-boos in card making. It is what it is. And there we go. But if you want smaller lattice, add an extra strip. Till next time. Bye.